Hello, this is Matt Cannon with my thoughts of the day out here in nature. And I want to talk for a minute about something that I've been thinking about kind of a lot lately, and it's the subject of Amor Fati. Amor Fati. It's a Latin phrase that means to love one's fate, to love it. And I want to tell you a little story, and it's a true story. And imagine you're a 67-year-old individual, you've you're an inventor and you work on your life's work and you're got all of these experiments and a whole lifetime's worth of work that is in your factory, in your building. And you find out one day you're sitting down eating dinner and someone who works for you comes running and they tell you the building where all your experiments are is burning down. And and you run out and you see all your life's work just burning to the ground. What would you think? What would you say if that happened to you? 67 years old, you've already probably had your best years behind you, and now you see everything you've worked your whole life for is burnt down. What would you say to something like that? Well, this happened in real life. This was Thomas Edison, and he found out that his life's work was burning to the ground. And when he came out, his son came along with him and saw him there, and he told his son, "You'll never see a brilliant fire like this." And the son rightfully thought, my dad's going a little bit loopy. He's here saying that everything's going to be okay when his life's work is burning down. And and Edison said to his son, "It was all a bunch of rubbish anyway. It's just burning away." And he had this good attitude about it. And that's in a nutshell what Amor Fati is. It's finding out that you lose everything, but yet you come back revitalized, not just immortalized, not to the point where you feel like your life is over. You really feel revitalized about the opportunities. And it's estimated that he lost at those days it was about $1 million. It would have been 20 million our time, and he ended up losing that much, which is a lot. But then he ended up getting about 10 times that. He gained about 200 million after that, after age 67, after that tragedy of his office, his building burning down with all of his work in there, his life's work. He ended up being revitalized, and he created about $200 million worth, which would have been about 20 million in those days. But when you think about that, that's Amor Fati. Amor Fati is realizing that you can still make good out of bad. It's not only realizing you can still make good out of it, it's actually loving your fate. It's being revitalized versus being destroyed. What is it that you're dealing with today where if you had love of the fate, you could totally change the situation? A person who's very wise, Viktor Frankl, he said you cannot control what's happening to you in life, but you can always control what you will feel and do about what happens to you. And Viktor Frankl, he was in Nazi concentration camps. He had one of the very few survivors from that. He wrote a book about it called Man's Search for Meaning, and he covered all of these things that had to do with his outlook and how he responded to things that happened to him. And that's how life is. You don't seek out bad things to happen in your life. That's just not the way anyone wants to live, and I don't think that's wise to live that way. But you do have to deal with the cards you're dealt. You do have to deal with the hands that you're dealt. And that's what Amor Fati is. Amor Fati is being turning a situation around for good that was a bad potential situation. I like a quote, and this is a little balance to my thought of the day. Richard Feynman had a quote. He said, "The most important thing is not to fool yourself, and you're the easiest person to fool." Well, I'm going to flip this a little bit. Amor Fati is about kind of fooling yourself into embracing your fate, loving it. And there's something special that happens when you recognize that this situation can turn around for the better. There's something special that happens when you turn around a bad situation and turn it into a positive for your own self. And I think that when you know something is undeniable and you can't get through it, it's like, what are we going to do with that? And I think Amor Fati is a very wise way to approach it. So What are you dealing with today that you need to love and appreciate and be grateful for and be revitalized about the opportunities that this situation brings to it? The only opportunity it may bring is it may bring a key lesson for you to learn some lessons. It may bring a key way for you to reveal your character. It may be a key way for you to build your character. These are all what Amor Fati is about. It's about growing into becoming the best that you can be. It's about embracing the opportunity in the struggle, because oftentimes you got struggle in one hand, opportunity in the other, but when you put them together and you just make the most of it, you'd be amazed at what's possible. So I've been thinking about this a lot. I give a lot of credit to Ryan Holiday and his Daily Stoics and some of the books that I've read from him, because he's kind of turned me on to this idea. And it's just a powerful thing. I'll probably put a link to his video where he talks about it even better than I could ever talk about it. But learn more about this subject. Embrace your fate. Love it. Live it. And I hope that going into this new year, you have a more great appreciation of Amor Fati, as I'm working on in my own life. So this is Matt Cannon. These are my thoughts of the day. Signing out.